Live.
It's kicking like cake, eh?
Alright, man.
That's what it's all about. So, okay, where I left off last week, okay, shout out to my man Jay here.
What's up?
You know what I'm saying? But where we left off last week on the story, we're discussing like reason. Like basically, I was bringing the forefront how reason was discovered and what he was doing and how they thought like he was a female. Like on the radio, because his voice was so like excellently crazy, and then when they found out it was a guy, blew their mind even more, right? So, but the numbers that we're doing on that album was very, very elegant and strong, because Reason Letters on Paper dropped after Waste Streets, and like he was always one of the first Edmonton and the first Alberta artist, and I'm even going to go and say as far as one of the first Western Canada artists to take on woman issues, in the sense that the photo for his album cover, it's basically like it was the woman's shelter downtown, and he had a good reason for it. And so as the CEO of the label, you know, and as a homie at the time, still is, we basically like put it together, and I said, all right, run with it, because it's a blessing. So the album came out, color was beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we were busting our tail off trying to get this all done, and I'm spending my money at that time. I'm spending my money for my credit card, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna flip this and try to do that on my credit card, not understanding credit at the time, because when you're young, you don't get the understand the vibe with it. You just think that things are complete, you know, like the money comes, money go, and that's why now I have to teach my son, you know what I mean, about teach my son about finance and all my other peoples. But yeah, so the album came. The first print we print was 500 copies, CDs. You know what I'm saying? And so we had the place jumping again because we were pushing, you know. And I shit you not, you know, like we had some of the craziest of the best time. We had to go to MTV Canada, MTV2. The head office at the time was based in Calgary, and so we went there, and you know, like after we were getting radio play and we were feeling mighty, and so they asked us, you know, to go to Vancouver. So we set out to go to Vancouver, you know, winter, snowy, you know, like, but we were determined to make something happen with the music that we had at the time, right? And so we got the van, and basically we went to the beat. The beat was cool. They were playing the music. Okay. After we left from van, we went to MTV, and MTV stood us up. MTV2 stood us up. We drove 14 hours, 14 motherfucking hours,
Jerks.
Through the snow, through the crazy fire on the highway. You know, cars slid off to go there, and MTV stood us up. And you know what? They had a MC on there, Buck 45, and that's where I met Buck 45. And Buck 45 is fucking shitty as fuck. I'm not gonna like go out of my way to bash the guy, but I'm gonna tell it like it is because this is what I do. Like Buck 45 music wasn't rap. Like a Reason Letters on Paper was killing it. And it's not because we backed it. If you listen to both of them, you will be your own judge. You know? And it's as simple as that. For us as an independent label to do that and strain ourselves. Buck was signed to a major label, so I understand. So I had a conversation with him, and he's basically, you know, saying, oh yeah, I was in France, I had to go there to write my album. So I thought you know, like I was like, yo, this guy's album is gonna be fucking sick. It's gonna be ill. So went there to basically, you know, like I checked the album after I finished talking with them, and I tell you, you know, like as God is my witness, I wanted to slap myself because I wasted like 10 minutes of my own time. You know what I mean? Because like, and to me, if that's what the East Coast heads, when I say East, I'm talking about the Far East, was banging to, cool. But I'm nowhere, no shape that this artist was better than Reason. You know, but they gave him the go ahead, he did his thing, and we're young at the time, so we're just happy to be there in that sense. So we came back, and on my way back, one of the homies from out here hit me up and he said, yo, check this out. You're getting played again on the beat. And so he's playing from like in the phone, and I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling the high and mighty because the production that I co-produce, my man Reason is doing it well, you know, and so we felt blessed, you know, but we didn't know the music business as what it is because success jumped so far quickly with us, like on that level. You know what I mean? Because to us, we're starting our headquarters was based in, again, a townhouse, Edmonton housing, you know what I'm saying? Like Duggan, you know, and my mama's old couch that was ripped was my office. So you must know that we were youngsters then, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like, so to get this, it was feeling blessed, right? So we drove, and we're driving back, we're talking, and a truck must have hit a deer earlier and left it in the middle of the highway. So we're minding our own business, and we ran on this deer. We hit that deer in the middle of the street. The car flew, like I'm talking about, flew all the way up in the sky because we're going fast, and it's snowing, and we smashed the ground, okay? And this was in Jasper, like, so we had to hop out of the car. Luckily, we didn't like hit anything else. Hop out of the car and move this deer, and it's heavy because it's all dead, like it's huge. So it's heavy, and so it's winter time, and we're moving this deer. And in my head, all I can think was like, man, buck fucking 55 or 45 or what the hell it is, that motherfucker sucked.
65.
Yeah.
Either way.
He sucked, right? You know, and I'm like, they gotta be better artists coming from the East there. You know, and basically the goal was to work with some better artists coming from the East later on, to collaborate. You know, so long story short, we drove back, we got back. You know, it was a blessing to reach back our city, you know, and, you know, it was just like, okay, what are we going to do next, right? So I decide, you know what, we're gonna do a tour. And when I say tour, we had no clue what we were doing, as in like clubs we're going to go to, or basically anything. We're going from Edmonton to Toronto, promoting this album. Not having a clue exactly what we're doing, but the one thing that I know, you know what I mean, like the Father up above always always bless me in the movements that I'm doing. So like that's why I don't fear nothing. Like, I mean, when they like any demons come around us, we just keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? And we made there was like about 6 of us. One guy couldn't take it, so he fell off, and so we drove. And the first night we're in this like SUV, you know what I mean? It's an 8-seater, and we had to stop at Calgary, and like it's nighttime, you know, and like we're like, okay, we slept in the SUV. You know what I'm saying? The homie like Reason slept on top of the SUV, and so like, I mean, like we're basically plugging in like hot pots and stuff like that to cook like shit there. You know what I mean? And the following day, like we drove, you know, after we cleaned up, brush your teeth, all that stuff, we drove, and we're going south, you know, to go basically, instead of going east. So we drove all the way until I was like, let's say 5 kilometers from the Montana border. And I was like, wait a second, we're going the wrong way, right? So all of a sudden we drove down, we were going the wrong bloody way. So we had to stop at some hole in the wall, little shack, lucky it was summertime. And the guy, I'm like, which way to Madison Hat? Because that's east. And he's like, well, son, you got to drive back about an hour up that way and then go on the highway that say such and such. So I'm like, all right, screw this, we're going to beat it. So I'm pressing the gas, flying, man. I'm talking about we're cooking. And all of a sudden, a bird flew into my windshield, but the bird exploded. Blow, right? And the only thing we could see was feathers. And we started laughing because this shit's straight real. So we're gunning it, making it back, trying to reach this highway. And man, we got to the highway. Things is completely different. It get completely different. I'm gonna tell you all the rest of it about it next week. We out.
Later.
Peace.
Right on. Oh wait, I didn't have to get up. You got